Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of Time Out with Maggie. Thank you so much for joining me here today. So last week we learned that it is essential for us to count our blessings, to recognize what God has done. Do not be so forgetful of everything that God has done for you from January down to this part of the year. So and as I promised last week, I said I'll be sharing lessons that I learned in year 2020. So I'm talking about I might not go into details, but I'll just be sharing some key things that I learned in this year. So first of all, the first thing I learned, and I'm still learning, and I'm still going to continue to learn, is that God is faithful. Trust me, God is faithful. God is ever faithful. You cannot remove God. You cannot take God out of your success story. You cannot take God out of your whatever experience you are sharing. I want you to understand that God is at the top of every situation in our lives. Your present day is God's throwback. Yes, I saw that on the friend status. What you are going through right now is God's own throwback. So you cannot tell me that God is not involved in every situation of your life. God is faithful. The fact that you are watching this video, the fact that you are alive, the fact that you can see, that you can breathe in air, God is faithful. Even at the face of different situations that we never planned for, God is faithful. I want you to understand that is number one. God is at the top of every aspect of our lives and He is ever faithful. Secondly, what would I be sharing? Secondly, I'll be talking to us about something that basically everyone knows. The truth is, there are so many things that we all know, but until we find ourselves in those situations, until we get to experience those things, we cannot relate with them very well. Yes, many people have so many head knowledge about so many principles and all, but until you find yourself in that situation, trust me, you won't be able to relate with it so well. So I'll be telling us today that which you already know, that your association affects every aspect of your life. And if you're not sensitive and careful enough, you would allow the wrong set of people into your life, and they will influence your principles, they will influence your values. You will end up making decisions never planned to make. You will end up going into habits that you never planned to go into. Everyone knows that. Come to think of it, towards the end of the year, stroke beginning of the new year, you hear people talking about cutting off friends and all, taking out their friend list, checking out to see those who share the same goals and all that. It's so good, trust me. It's very, very effective. But then, during the course of the year, after the whole New Year resolution thing, we tend to forget, and then we allow the wrong set of people into our lives. Now, I'm not saying you should cut off everybody. I'm not saying that you should be hostile. Trust me, I've talked about relationship, how that you can harness from relationships. I even explained that you don't have to pay for everything in this life. You don't have to pay for everything in this life. There are some times that relationships pay for you. Yeah, so that does not mean that you become insensitive to the fact that having the wrong set of people around you can influence your life negatively. They can cause you to do things that you never planned to do. And one last thing I've been noting is in a bid to help someone out of a challenge, in a bid to help someone out of a struggle, ensure that you are not falling. Ensure that you are not falling, because it takes someone who is actually standing to raise someone up. It takes someone who can see to lead someone in the right direction. Ensure that while you're trying to help that friend, while you're trying to help someone, you are not falling into that same pit. That is wisdom, trust me. It's a mistake I made, or should I say I almost made, something like that. Yeah, I almost made, until God just helped me to realize that, Maggy, something is wrong somewhere. Wisdom is needed. Yes, so in a bid to help that friend, in a bid to help someone, ensure that you are not falling into that same pit. If it's beyond your power, go and get help. Get help from someone who is capable, who is experienced. Don't be so passionate about helping people that you end up in their shoes, and then both of you be helpless. So that'll be all for today. This video is already getting so long. Yes, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share with your loved ones. Yes, one more thing, you can also share your experiences in the comment section below, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them. See you next week.